Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of the Tailgate Update. We got a pretty heavy loaded six pack to open up today, so let's get it cracking. First up, Ryan, I know that you're probably really happy about this. Brett Maher. My feelings are hurt because I just got the boot, got cut. He's done after he had a 4-for-4 performance like 2 weeks ago, didn't
he? Yeah, he was solid against Arizona.
Wasn't he the Denver Broncos kicker last year?
No, he was in Dallas last year.
Oh, well, he was awful last
year. He's the one that missed the 4 extra points in the playoff game against Tampa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has a track record. I wish they would fire our kicker when he sucks, but no, he just keeps coming back every year.
Jason Myers?
I hate Jason. Sorry, I don't.
I'll gladly take him off your hands.
That is not my word.
All right.
It's
so
a
happy day for. Do you know who they have now? Do you know, Ryan?
They signed some guy off the practice squad from Cleveland.
Sure, it'll be great.
All I know, they had a tryout at practice earlier this week. I know Mason Crosby was one of them.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I know he's been kind of itching to get back, so I'd be shocked if he's not the guy, right? I mean, or no?
Money.
Yeah.
I think there's something in the works for Chase Young heading into the deadline.
Oh,
he's 24 years old. He's 24 years old. We need an edge rusher.
You think the Bears are getting Chase Young?
I don't know.
All right.
All it's going to take is a second or third round pick to get him.
I know.
I can't confirm that we're not taking him. I doubt it.
And the Bears' third round pick is essentially a first round pick or a second round pick. So,
well,
anyways, that pick's not looking too good.
Good riddance, Brett Maher.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything is better, frankly. You could have hired like the local, automotive guy. What do you call it, mechanic, and he would have been better than Maher. So,
maybe
that's true. So Eagles traded 2 late round picks, like a 6th and a 7th, or a 5th and 6th, something like that.
They traded a 5th.
A 5th for Kevin Byard. Probably the last piece that they really need on that defense, I think. Dude's been an all-pro, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Kind of in the latter part of his career, but still definitely a serviceable piece back there. And you can tell they've been missing that CJ Gardner-Johnson. Mm-hmm. So are the Lions, I guess, essentially, since he hasn't played for them yet. But speaking of other safeties, Kareem Jackson gets suspended for his hit on Luke Musgrave, I believe, last week against Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think that hit was okay. I think he was already kind of going into it when Musgrave turned into him. Not much you can do as a defender. You can't just stop yourself mid attack. But I think that this is the 4th instance, I think, this year. So a player like that's probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I did see one for sure earlier this year was definitely dirty. So
in this instance, it's fair. And it definitely called back to the 1970s. So I think it's sufficient to he needs something, because Musgrave is now he'll never be the same. But
he tried to appeal that suspension too.
He's gonna appeal it?
But he tried to. I think they reduced it to 2 games.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Probably because they realized that hit itself wasn't probably that illegal.
Just once I'd like to see the league be like, oh, you had 4 games. Oh, you're dirty. You got 4 games. You got a light. And you want to appeal? Guess what? 6 games now, bitch.
Yeah, you're right. 4 games was wrong. I'm making 6. Falcons and Arthur Smith are under investigation for how they've handled the Bijan Robinson, injury or non-injury. They didn't make it known before the game that he was injured, even though supposedly Saturday night is when he started feeling weird. Honestly, drop the hammer on him. I can't stand Arthur Smith. I think he's a dickhead. He's not funny. He's just I cannot. My disdain for Arthur Smith is probably completely unreasonable, and I do not care.
Yeah, kind of like me and Myers, but it's still very real, and I have great reasons.
Kind of like my hate for McDavid. No one really knows why.
That is kind of, you know what? All right, we all have our quirks. So we'll see what happens with that. I think Bijan had like one carry or something weird.
I mean, he had migraines, right? He had a headache and he was feeling ill.
Yeah, something like that.
He probably had bubble gut and just didn't want to do DK Metcalf cart over and over.
Oh, God. They really should have porta potties like on the sidelines.
Okay, you don't even know how much of a contention that has been, because I wrote that article about where do players poop on the sidelines, and it's the information is gold, by the way. And their argument is that they wouldn't be able to get their leading argument is that they wouldn't be able to get a porta potty big enough for like some of their really huge players, like the 300-pound 6'5", defenseman or whatever. To which I say the NFL surely has enough money to create a custom porta potty that would fit. But I mean, college football, they now have that little pop-up tent. At least I know Oregon has that. So like they pop it up and down when like players need to go in. And I think that might be helpful because you don't want people just like a constant stream of in and out. So like they're like a pop-up tent like creates enough work and enough delay that you really need to be there. But yeah, there's been some really nasty things that have happened on the sidelines because of the lack of a restroom and easy access. So I'll just leave it there.
I feel
that's nasty.
Probably have a permanent bathroom in there with like 3 oversized handicap stalls on each sideline, and just like, why is that so hard?
Yeah, like they go to the bathroom every day, so clearly there are restrooms that like can fit.
Right.
Like, yeah, they're not like giants, like they are like there are accommodations for this. It's like the stupidest excuse I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, the NFL makes how many like trillions every week, and they can't give us a porta potty that could fit a defenseman.
That's got to be like one of the grievances for the NFLPA. Like the next CBA comes up, they have to have that in the contract. Like, give us bathrooms on the sideline.
I hear you, but this has been an issue since the football has been a thing, and that's over 100 years. So I don't think they're going to change anytime soon. And instead, if you see your player in the corner with a towel conspicuously in a certain location, just know, yes, that is what he's covering.
I mean, there could be complaints for all sports, really, because like in baseball, you have to go into the clubhouse, which is like down the stairs, down the hall, all the way into the clubhouse. Just go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we also
it should be like a closet.
At least they're like halfway concealed, though.
We all saw the Baltimore Raven, Lamar Jackson do the poop run in 2019.
Yeah. No, that was definitely. I don't care what they say. He definitely was like shitting himself.
Yeah.
Remember when Lamar like had all those issues where like he was out of practice due to illness? I think he had the IBS that week, man.
Might have. It's a real
like
thing.
He was dealing with some like IBS shit.
It's real.
It is.
Moving on.
I don't know how it's not indecent exposure to have men like pissing on the sidelines with varying levels of privacy, which happens all the time when there's like kids around. But that alone should be the argument that we need. But anyway,
moving on.
Because has Brock Purdy been exposed?
Yes.
No, he's fine.
He's fine. I agree with Julie. I think that he was probably already concussed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's you could tell his numbers. I wish I need to start sending you guys these things I see. His split before the concussion versus after when they say it occurred. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, they really could have caught that. Like, they don't have a spotters for this very specific reason in the NFL or anything, like in the crowd looking for head contact. And what does it say about our concussion protocol if a player is like completely stunned? And he has to know something's not right, at least within himself, because he can't perform correctly. Like, something is, I'm not saying he knows he has a concussion, but something's going to feel off, and he doesn't feel comfortable, like, telling his coaches that, like, alarming.
Well, some guys are just gamers, and that's why they had the independent doctors now instead of the team doctors. And because a lot of the guys, like, I mean, look at Jamal Adams, a couple weeks ago, he didn't want to come off the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
He probably knew he didn't feel right, but at the same time, I don't know. So I do think, though, that the 49ers are being exposed a little bit in terms of, like, if they get in a dogfight, they might be in trouble. Mm-hmm. Play really well with the lead. But the team's giving them a hard time. And again, most of that could be back to Brock being concussed as well. Yes, last week. But
for a second,
what's his name is out right now? Debo. So that
CMC's banged up.
Yeah, so he lost some of his tools on
Trent Williams is out. I mean, but can we talk about the defense though?
What?
Can we talk about their defense though?
Yeah,
they let Kirk Cousins fucking stomp all over him.
I mean, we're gonna sit here and argue like Kirk isn't probably a top 12 quarterback. Like, come on.
Top 12? Wow, you really extended the freaking rank on that one, didn't you?
Well, I don't want to say he's top 10.
He's top 15.
Yeah. Potato, I guess, but
he's definitely top 15. But still,
like, hey, we could use a Kirk.
Still, the Minnesota offense this year has been underwhelming.
Yeah, well, and they did that without Justin Jefferson too, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, KJ
Osborne probably a dude, but
I don't know. I just feel like Nick Bosa should have been more of a force in the game.
Yeah, I agree. That's not a very good offensive line. That's
no
pretty porous offensive line.
He has 2.5 sacks right now.
Yeah, Kirk
is he hurt or something? Then we don't know about it, or what?
Could be.
He's a Bosa. They get hurt all the time.
He just had 18.5 sacks last year, did he not?
Well, now he got paid, so he can just chill.
Yeah, he can just chill.
There is that aspect, and I don't think it's necessarily like an intentional thing by these players, but I do think that part of your brain, once you get that big paycheck, is like, can breathe a little bit. You know what I mean?
What's with the hand thing that he does? It makes me really uncomfortable.
Me?
No, Bosa.
Oh, what's his hand thing?
He does. Y'all know the hand thing he does, right?
No, I don't really watch Nick Bosa do much other than play football.
Oh my god, he does the weirdest hands every single time yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, we are literally, I'm going to share the screen because
doesn't he do like the Brock Lesnar thing when he gets a sack where he's like, rah?
He does this.
Oh, the shrug thing?
Yeah, it's weird. It makes me uncomfortable. What is that?
-5 points for Nick Bosa.
I mean, every time he makes any kind of play, he does the hands, and I'm like, what is that? But
it's like his first discount double check.
I should mention that we're performing tonight in front of a live studio audience. So,
oh boy. Well, Brock Purdy is also a big. He's a rookie, so like, let this man like have a few bad games. And
no. He gets nothing.
Well, you said exposed. He hasn't been exposed at all. He's just a regular human being, but
he's been exposed because there's been a lot of talk of, oh, he's the MVP. Oh, he's top 5.
He can still be the MVP.
He's not.
I think he's a very good quarterback. How about that?
I think he is what the Niners need to run that offense. Nothing more, nothing less.
And y'all gonna let me tell my joke now where I say that Kirk Cousins button-up shirts are a crime against humanity and will be in our section of true crime.
Oh my god.
Don't be dogging Coles like that.
It's not Kohl's, it's Kmart. His wife still finds the one Kmart in the entire country and orders them.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to Men's Warehouse or anything.
He's frugal and he's
What's up next?
living his best middle-aged life.
Which is fine, but like honestly, even if you're using only, you can find better things at Walmart.
True. Walmart's got some good shit.
Well, yeah. Julie's not a fan of the Kmart button-ups.
Nobody is.
Is she a fan of the Tush Push though?
Yeah, it's been a thing for like a long time. I don't even really understand why. I mean, I guess it's having a resurgence, but it's not like we don't see the Tush Push regularly anyway. I mean, it feels like.
You think it should be banned?
No, just let them have something.
Right? That's like, if you don't like it, stop it. Like, stop trying to jump over the damn pile and get lower. Like, that's the whole issue here.
Hasn't Drew Brees like been jumping over the huddle since like the beginning of time? Like to get that the touchdown, he would like jump over the line and stretch his arm out like he's the guy from One Piece, and like all of a sudden it becomes like 3 feet long and he like crosses the line.
Yeah, that's completely different though.
Fine, but I'm just saying.
Like, all right, the QB sneak for Brady and Breeze and Manning, that is completely different than having 7 hands being shoved up your ass.
The QB, it's just a unique kind of QB sneak. Okay,
it's a dangerous play. First of all,
what are you worried about him getting a hemorrhoid in his butt cheeks? Like, what?
No, it's a dangerous play because you have the offensive line lunging forward. First of all, to possibly defensive lineman's knees.
Cut block. It's legal.
It's a dangerous play.
It's a cut block. I mean, you see it all the time on passing plays. I mean, linemen cut block all the time, as long as they are within the parameters. Like, I don't know the exact terminology, but I mean, it's totally legal. They can't like run out, to the sideline and cut block a corner. But
no, I'm saying it's a dangerous play because you have people lunging at your knees, so that's a dangerous play.
Every place.
The neck, possibility of a neck injury, head injury.
Okay, Grandpa, like you're worried about that in general.
Playing the wrong sport. I mean, look, people call it a rugby play, and I mean it kind of is, but nobody gets hurt on those.
Listen, my problem with it is the league bitches about who's player safety. Here we are.
Your problem is that your quarterback isn't good at the tush push, is what your problem is.
Who got hurt?
Yeah, name me one player that's been hurt on that play.
3 Giants players.
But did they really get hurt?
As far as I know, they did. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Well, I don't really see it. Like, I'm the CTE crusader, as you know, Ryan, and I'm not crying about this. And you don't care when other people are practically beheaded on the field, so I don't know why this is such a concern now.
Beheaded?
They got hit so hard to their head, I'm surprised their head don't pop off, is what I'm saying.
That is an over-exaggeration, Miss Julie.
Yeah, and so is your reaction to the tush push.
Isn't it illegal for defensive players to push their teammates into the line? Is it not illegal?
Only on a kick.
So why is it legal on a 4th and 1 play for Jalen Hurts to get 7 hands up his ass?
Because everybody's got their head up and they're ready to play ball, versus like the long snapper having his head down snapping a ball. Then you have the risk of his head getting pushed into the ground. Like, nobody's just sitting there with their head down on a tush push. Everybody's head up, ready to go. We know what's going down.
Yeah, it's called situational nuance, Ryan.
I'm sure it is.
How most rules work.
There's no secret what's going to go down, especially when you're playing the Eagles on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Like, it's about to go down. So
we all know that.
A defense is going to figure out how to stop it. Honestly, they will. Defenses figure it out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, only a few quarterbacks like
we can't ban
perfected the QB sneak of their own variety. Like
we're the whole banning everything just because it's being successful. Like it's getting played out right now, man. I just let it work itself out.
Like, the refs don't have enough problems with the rules that we do have.
That's true. And honestly, you see
their own problem.
If a running back gets stood up, what does the entire offense go? They go and push the pile. Like that to me is more dangerous than a tush push.
How?
Because now you're letting 300-pound linemen get 10, 15 yards of full steam, go run up and slam themselves in the back of the running back. Like that's far more dangerous than, I mean, there's a lot of force being generated, but you can only generate so much force when you're like literally head up 6 inches from each other.
And it's all directed into the butt.
So
that's where the majority of the force is going, not in the back of a running back who doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Ryan's not okay with it. That's okay. It's a 50-50 split, I feel like, throughout the football world right now. So
I feel like Ryan is always the contrary, and me and Caleb are the voices of reason already this week. On multiple topics.
It's a rare week then if I'm the voice of reason. We're not having a good week then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think the league eventually will find it a cause for player safety and they'll probably ban it.
I think that they will do, and it will piss me off. And
really. I would not be surprised if they want to.
They're already looking into it this year. Like they're looking into it the rest of the season, and they'll probably make a decision on it in the off season.
And I will get another canvas that says the NFL is worried about their players' buttholes.
It's good. I'm glad that they're worried about something on the player.
Yeah.
Maybe not their brain, but their buttholes for sure.
Right. It's not their head, neck, or anything else, or their knees or their ankles because of the freaking turf. But they are worried about the buttholes. Great.
Yeah. The butthole is. Well, we gotta stop saying butthole.
Yeah, I think that we hit our.
The rectum is
rectum.
a problem.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's the technical term. All right, Caleb, what's up next?
Crack open our third one here. All right, we're cruising right along. Your thoughts on the World Series?
Lucy, what's your thoughts? She says I'll bite you if you keep asking me. All right.
The World Series game 1 started off the World Series how it should have started off.
Yeah, I'm glad I caught the tying home run. That was the only thing I caught. Who walked it off? Was it Dallas?
It was Adolis, yeah.
Yeah, that dude's been
he went oppo. So by the time this drops, we will be seeing game 2 would have played tonight, actually, while we're recording this tonight.
So game 3 will be the night.
Game 3 will be Monday when this drops.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll either see a 1-1 series or a 2-0 series lead.
Me thinks it's going to be a 2-0 Texas lead. I think that might have sent a jolt of. I don't think it matters because shoot, Philly had a 2-0 lead on Arizona. So
Philly ain't Texas, bro. Philly went dead, bro. Philly went dead.
Philly went dead.
Not only that, Texas has Jordan Montgomery pitching tonight.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a 2-0 lead.
Yeah. Well, Merrill Kelly's pitching. Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Well, now you have a prediction, so we can nail you to the cross next week when you get it wrong.
Julie, you got a problem with me?
That's fair.
I was saying both of you. Both of you made a prediction.
One of us has to be wrong.
Okay, so whoever it is, we nail to the cross of football. Okay, or whatever.
Baseball.
Yeah, I know, but
so leading into the World Series, this included Adolis as well, Garcia. Brian Abreu got suspended for hitting Garcia.
Intentionally hitting Garcia.
Yes, I don't care what they say. That was very intentional. But they allowed him to pitch in Game 7 in the ALCS. Like, what are we doing?
That pissed me off, wicked.
So I'm glad Houston lost. This is like just kind of another thing with them, but everything else separated. Like, screw Houston, dude. I can't stand them.
Houston can take a long walk off a short pier for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It pissed me off. It's just another Rob Manfred thing.
It is.
Are you kidding me with this?
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably more about Rob Manfred than it is Houston for me. But yeah,
suspending this dude, and this is what pisses me off. You can appeal your suspension and still play.
Yeah.
That's irritating. Just take the damn suspension. It's 2 games, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, and it's the most meaningful games of the year. Why is he being allowed to, one, appeal a suspension in the playoffs, two, play in Game 7, and three, have to be suspended the first 2 games of next season? As a relief pitcher, you don't pitch for 5 days sometimes.
Yeah, legit.
What the hell is the point? It's just saying, "Oh, we
Talking about
tried."
baseball makes me want to die inside, but even I can agree that this is really ridiculous and is actually interesting. And that feels like they tush pushed him into the game.
that
Anywho,
that was just so irritating. It's just the most Rob Manfred thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
the halfway redeeming quality about the Houston Astros is Dusty Baker, and he has announced his retirement. Um, I I have no love for Dusty. I think he's good enough to probably get in the Hall, but he what he did with the Cubs and how he acted afterward is just ridiculous to me. So I got no love for him, but had a long career, both playing and coaching. I'm sure that we'll see him in the Hall. Ryan, I think you said earlier, 26 years.
Yeah, he managed 26 years, made 3 World Series, winning one of them, 3-time manager of the year, and he ranks 7th all time with 2,183 wins.
That'll get you there. That'll get you there.
That's Hall worthy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats on a stellar career.
Enjoy your retirement, your golden years, you know.
Yeah, what is he, like 74?
Maybe 75, maybe.
Jeez, yeah, really. I mean, it's about that time, so he might want to get out on the beaches of Florida or something.
Yeah, something. Sean, this made me laugh. I'm glad that you brought this to my attention earlier because I would have never even thought about it. But Sean Casey, the Yankees hitting coach, has stepped down. I'm sitting there thinking, like, this dude's been around for a couple years, and I was gonna make a joke about like, well, they ain't gonna miss him because that offense has been trash unless your name's Aaron Judge. Dude was July 10th he was hired.
Mm.
That is legit halfway through this past season. Dude made 80 games. Like, what? Is working for the Yankees that miserable? I mean, it looks miserable. It's like working for Darth Vader, but
Well, you're assuming that he was the one who initiated it.
well, and there's that too. This could have been like a mutual, like, hey, you're gonna step down,
right?
And we're gonna say we fired you. Yeah.
No. He says he wants to step down as the hitting coach next season because he wants to spend more time with his family.
Oh my God, so did the Denver. I mean, so did the Chicago Bears coach when they found out he had a little ringy ring going on or whatever. That the FBI is still investigating. He said, "I want to spend more time with my family." That is the go-to excuse when something went south. So we know now that something's not right.
Well, that whole lineup was awful after he took over too.
Terrible.
I don't know if it was talent or what, but they were just garbage for most of the
time when these tools are spending more time with their family, the family probably don't even want them after the nasty stuff that they got him there. Like, I'm pretty sure, Sean Payton got a divorce after he got banned for a year. His wife said, "No, this is too many days in a week."
Yeah, I mean, they're literally used to coaches not being home.
Yeah. Yeah, so more time with my family, my ass. They want you back out there more than you do.
Well, he's always got a cushy job back at MLB Network.
That's true too.
Being the most annoying person on the analyst panel.
Yeah, that is a high task to be that person.
What do you what's your thoughts on Bob Melvin moving from San Diego to San Francisco?
What are my thoughts?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I don't care. He went from a team that probably should have been a playoff contender, maybe a NLCS contender, to San Francisco, who is kind of in between, I guess.
Yeah, no, San Diego definitely should have been a legit World Series contender. I mean, you add all these pieces. Problem is, and I think we talked about it before, that team had zero grit, not a single ounce of it. Bunch of dudes that are finesse players. They go out there, they make a flashy play or two, might stroke a home run, and then they're pretty much taking the rest of the game off. They're not going to grind out at bats for you. They're not going to do the dirty work. And you can't have a whole team full of that. So
San Diego is the capital of prima donnas for baseball.
And Bob Melvin, you can't win with that team. Who are you winning with? Like, honestly.
Well, he was in Oakland, wasn't he, for a while? Bob Melvin took a team. They took an A's team that shouldn't have been in the playoffs. Made them, what, 3 straight division champs?
Were we talking Matt Chapman years?
I'm talking like Coco Crisp years, like 2012.
Yeah, no, that team actually has a lot of good players.
He managed that team to a Game 5 loss to Detroit, who ended up going to the World Series that year. So,
yeah, that team had a lot of good players, though.
Not a terrible manager, but
no, I just
not my first choice.
And it sounded like it was a lot of differences between him and the GM. So maybe he's just like, you can't have this kind of team build. Probably not a lot of chemistry.
Well, stuff like that happens.
But I don't know. Going to San Francisco seems, like you said, they're very mid right now.
They're in between right now. I don't know what to think of them.
They had a stretch where it's like, oh, wait, San Francisco might be something this year, but it kind of faded away quick. And then
it hurt one season.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
What?
Oh, I just saw Caleb's arm. Good grief. Did a dog bite you? What is that? Yeah, okay.
Is that your vein?
I know. It looks really intense from here.
The vein? Or the scratch?
Yeah, the huge scratch.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get tush pushed?
I fell.
That looks intense. Oh my god, you were scratching it, and then I just saw it. It was like, okay, somebody learned how to ride a bike this week.
Yeah.
This episode, take an update. Caleb can't walk.
We all knew that. Here's another question for you guys. Should fourth down plays be reviewable?
Yes.
Yeah. Everything should be reviewable because these tools can't do it right ever.
It's been bad.
Yeah, it's been so bad that everything should be reviewable at all times. And
I feel like we say it every year, though. Like every year, it feels like, oh, they're getting worse and worse.
No,
and worse.
I feel like it's actually getting worse.
Like really getting worse, actually.
I really feel like it's actually getting worse.
And this actually will lead me into number 5 here. The Mike McDaniel submitted upwards of 15 missed penalties against Philly.
Love that.
The penalty score was 10-0. Philly was called for 0.
Mm-hmm.
Miami called for 10. I mean, and I seen some of the replay. I mean, there was like blatant face mask, PI.
False start.
I mean, goodness gracious. It was
your right tackle gets away with false start every play.
That's the kind of stuff that makes people believe that the league is rigged. Like that kind of performance, the refs just completely sleepwalking.
Just blatant, just real blatant with it. And I mean, at this point, maybe New York should have way more of an impact, or we need to like fire. I know that there's a union, but where there's a will, there's a way, because 10-0 is just like flagrant in our faces.
Flagrant.
Yeah.
I know, I like that word. And then Mike McDaniel, of course, is going to be the person who like rolls back the tape and is like noting all of the places where penalties are happening, and then gives it to the refs. That was a power play, and I appreciate that.
Well, isn't it? I think it's in baseball. If you don't have a challenge, you can still ask the umps to like get together and converse about it. And then
the team with the coach that loves to challenge flags more than life itself, that is not a thing.
I'm just saying, like in baseball, you can ask the umps to get together and converse. If they feel like they're unsure of the call now, they can go and look at the replay.
I think you might be right on that.
Why don't they do that in football?
Can't officially ask for the replay, but yeah, you can ask them to.
Yeah, you can just be like, hey, can you want to talk about this? Converse with somebody else, see what they saw.
Or at least get yourself thrown out and get the boys buzzing.
And it feels like when the challenge flag is thrown, the call is getting reversed fairly often, at least for Pete Carroll. And it's like, look, if somebody throws a flag on the play every time you make a call and they're correct, maybe that says more about you than them.
The officials this year have been absolutely atrocious. I mean,
trash.
Let's talk about the Rams game last Sunday. Kenny Pickett was like 3 feet short, and they still first down. They gave him the most generous spot I've ever seen. Gave it to him. McVay had to use his timeout on a questionable PI call. First of all, on Witherspoon.
Oh, don't even get me started on the PI thing. Because we have
penalties though. So we had 3rd and 9 again when it should have been 4th and 9. Rams get the ball back on a punt or a missed field goal possibly. So
how many games have been lost because of a piss poor PI call, especially towards the end of the game? Like a lot.
Yeah, probably countless games.
Just because you call offsetting penalties doesn't mean that you did your job correctly, because that was the most questionable PI call I've ever seen.
Yeah, the offsetting. There's like nothing worse than offsetting.
Because then they ran a slant play to Robinson, who was like maybe a yard short of a first down, which we had to burn our last time out. You know,
I don't hate offsetting penalties because that's the thing that keeps like everybody from getting suspended during one of their chippy little brawls out there. So like I think there's a place for it there when. Yeah, but they can be frustrating. But generally, I think they're pretty fair as long as both call is good. But we know that doesn't happen often. So
a coach shouldn't have to factor in officials making mistakes, such as the one made last Sunday in the Rams game, when they think about their timeouts.
Well, they probably should.
Frustrating in a league where most games come down to usually the final drive. But have no fear because Jim Irsay is here. And
oh, dear God.
That's a nightmare. What do you mean have no fear?
Oh, sorry. I was wrong. Yeah, so he claimed that the league admitted to him that they missed 2 calls on the Browns' final drive, or made the wrong call. Should say missed? They definitely didn't miss the calls. They called them and they shouldn't have called. The only one I can think, I don't know what the other one was. The only one I can think of is the freaking throw that was like into the stands, and then they end up calling Indianapolis on for PI in the end zone, which then gave Cleveland the chance to shove it in there. But I was like, but that was ridiculous. Jim Irsay, this man, to be a head coach so bad. Thank you, Jim Irsay, for tweeting out.
He's obnoxious and he's the worst, but I feel like he's finally saying the quiet part out loud, and things have gotten so bad that even Irsay is a voice of reason.
Well, in that case,
everybody.
My next point, though, is going to be his just dying need to tell everybody what is going on within every wall of his program. Out yesterday or the day before, I don't really give a shit. The Anthony Richards surgery was a success, and though I'm very happy that the surgery was a success, and I hope that Richardson heals quickly, I do not need to hear that from the fucking owner. Okay, that's what head coaches are for, or even a general manager, or maybe Richardson himself.
So you're less concerned about the message and more about the deliverer. We know how Caleb feels about that. Irsay could be saying the truest shit ever, and Caleb would be like, I don't want to hear it from this guy. He's the wrong guy.
Look, I don't see any other team's owner doing this stuff.
We don't see anybody else.
Jerry Jones didn't feel the need to do that.
I mean, Mike McDaniel just called out the refs with 15 plays, and you don't see that very often, but here we are.
No, but he's a champion of the people.
I think after how he handled the Taylor situation, people are like a little soured on Irsay, to be honest.
I've been sour on Irsay.
Irsay's the worst. I'm not making that argument. I just like he's speaking a little bit of truth right now. So I'm like, well, as long as somebody does it.
No, I'm okay with him saying that the league admitted to him. My other bullet point about him tweeting out that Anthony Richardson's surgery was a success. Why are you talking to me about that? I don't need to hear it from you.
And I could be wrong because I'm not like the biggest Twitter X person, but isn't that something that usually comes during like a media press release from the head coach, not a tweet?
That's what I'm saying.
That usually comes from an ESPN notification.
True.
Honestly, that is accurate.
It is. That's where I pretty much get all my news from.
Yeah.
And my articles, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
If you try to hear from the coaches, it's just going to be a bunch of coach speak, and then you got to sit there and break it down like you're watching all 22 film from the previous game.
With Jordan Jeremiah, or whatever his name is.
Now I'm plugging my article that will be out by the time that this comes out about all of the ice hockey players who died on the field or as a direct result of an injury on the field.
Julie, it's called a rink. It's ice.
Ice
hockey, not field. God, Julie.
It's a metaphorical field. And because my heart is on the field, I can't ever leave, okay?
Your heart's on the field. Okay. Gotcha.
That's what the sign says.
If you insist.
Yeah, anyway, in the actual article I do say ice and like grammar and like
okay. Just want to make sure.
Terms. Yes.
I just want to make sure our viewers
got excited, okay, because I get to make another list of all the people who die in a sport, and that makes me excited. So I'm sorry. Not in a good way. I'm not a total sociopath, but I mean it is an interesting topic.
If Julie doesn't come back next week, you know she's in the mental hospital for being too involved in murder.
One too many.
Because that's where everybody with true crime fans go. Sure. All right.
What's next, Caleb?
Closing up our 6-pack here with our newly integrated Describe That by ours truly, Ryan Esau.
Except I have the first one because I can, and because Ryan's rude.
Okay.
Oh,
have at it. Oh yes.
This one's okay, but we all know this moment.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch the game, so no, I don't know it.
Well, wait for it. He throws the best pass ever, and then Godwin just looks into the sky and then misses it. Here, see this again.
Did he fall down?
With a weak arm makes one of the best Hail Mary passes like ever. Boop, ball goes for like a decade. And Godwin just looks at it coming down.
Oh, he did fall.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's that moment. And Baker Mayfield looks like he wants to die on the inside, which nobody can blame him. And well, Josh Allen's a nice guy, so I'll just leave it there. But
but how did that game even get that close? Like
the Bills' defense is poop.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening, but I mean, I was yelling at Godwin. I'm pretty sure my neighbor knew that I was upset at Godwin because, I mean, and I get that he looked up a little bit late, but I mean, if he just moved over just a smidge, like
those can't be hard to track. When you got to turn around and locate it real quick, that can be hard.
Yeah, but he was already looking up at it, and he was like 2 centimeters from where it came down. Like,
it's a Hail Mary. You know your job. Get to the end zone and look.
Also, we can't call the Buffalo Bills defense poop when they give up 18 points. You're starting to sound like Packer fans who think that their defense is poop, even though they've given up less than 20 points 4 times this year. They're 2-4, by the way. Anyway,
Bills defense is injured right now. That's why they're poop.
It is very injured.
And they played a Tampa team whose offense isn't exactly a Ferrari anymore.
Nope, it's not.
It's more like a beat up bug.
Bills, it's like a Miata.
It's a Herbie fully loaded right now.
Before it was restored.
Before it was restored.
Yeah.
It's like a BW bus.
Bills are they're hanging on, man. They're beat up.
Josh Allen was just so excited that he didn't have to do like the the lost speech again after being like not himself the majority of the season. So that was like pure excitement on his face. He was like, "Dear God, I don't have to give that speech."
You think he misses Dable? I do.
Yeah, because Ken Dorsey's absolutely garbage at play calling.
Not very good, is he?
No.
Yeah, probably.
It's him and Diggs got this whole thing going on. I don't know what the hell is going on between those two, but Diggs is starting his Minnesota bullshit again.
It's like a toxic high school relationship is what that looks like to me.
Pretty much.
But anyway, we got more moments to describe.
Yes, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we do. We always do.
That is true. No. Okay, hold on.
Technical difficulties.
Please hold. Okay, when you did it, if you did it, you would be worse than what I'm doing. So shut your trap. Okay, we got Puka Nacua
hostile. Damn, you're hostile.
All right. Anything you want to preface this by?
So this is beginning of the second half. Rams offense has kind of been sputtering a lot lately, especially in this game. I believe this is coming a drive after Stafford threw an interception to TJ Watt.
Yep.
And the legend of Puka grows. So let's roll the clip, Julie, please.
Off the fake. This is where Stafford's at his best. Play action. Nacua.
An absolute dime from Stafford, by the way.
What?
Stafford should wear number 9 or number 10 because like all he does is throw dimes.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, as much as Danny Dimes does, he does. All right, but let's appreciate this again because that was truly beautiful. Oh, too far. Okay. Look at that.
Like into double coverage right there.
Unbelievable.
And he got the toe tap down.
He is a force to be reckoned with. I cannot wait to follow his career.
And our boy Kyle Slaughter or Sloter, whatever the hell you want to call himself, thinks he's a expert analyst on Twitter now, on X.
Oh man!
Trying to say Puka Nacua isn't very good.
He's not saying he's not very good. He's just saying he doesn't have anything that he's like just elite at. He's just very good.
It was a stupid take, and that's what we'll just say about that. I mean, truly, like one of the worst takes ever. But we love Kyle here. But
this dude was ragging on Puka Nacua after 7 games.
Yeah, he's like what, like rookie of the year coming up here, and it's like, well, he doesn't do this. Like, okay,
I think all he's saying is that like his tangible qualities of why like maybe he was a 5th round pick instead of like a top 2 pick is, I don't think he's like necessarily dogging him. I think he's just saying like, hey, he's just getting after it, and despite
maybe the delivery could have been a little bit better, and considering how bad so many other players are, like pointing a finger at Nacua feels unnecessary at this point, but
he's a rookie and he's top 3 in the league in fantasy or not just fantasy, but top 3 in the league in receiving yards.
Yeah.
I think Sean bag this year.
The fact that he drops passes a little bit more than I'd like.
Who does?
But, anywho,
who drops passes?
Puka. He drops passes a little more than I'd like.
Oh, well, all right. Well, there you go.
It's the only problem I got with him.
That's
all right, do you want to preface this one?
All right, next up on Describe That Moment, we have Game 7 effort from the Houston Astros. The defending champs, mind you. Already down 10-3 in the 8th. Roll the clip, please.
Those are some shoes. All right.
Yeah, they're fancy.
He'd be fined in the NFL.
Yeah. He just hit that home run so I don't get fined. 11-3, game ends up 11-4. Caleb, will you please describe the effort of the defending champs in Game 7?
Cowardice.
Cowardice? Okay.
You know how I feel about Houston.
I feel the same way about Houston.
I'd say trash, but that would be played out. So I'll just go with cowards.
trash can worthy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Abysmal.
gonna take I don't care for 200.
That's not one word.
It doesn't have to be. You're describing the
It doesn't have
moment.
to be a word.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a word. It can be a sentence. It can be a phrase.
Okay, we know.
Okay.
I thought that was the rules. I thought one word was the rule.
If you want it to be, it can be. Changing the rules now? Okay.
Okay, we can discuss this off.
Yeah. I want you to change the rules for me.
Abysmal. That was Houston's effort. Abysmal. Are you kidding me? You're the defending champs. Game 7 in your house, in your home stadium, and you give up 11 runs.
God, my brain's already turning off.
They didn't win a single home game in that series.
Neither team did.
That reminds me of I think we already talked about it maybe, the World Series between them and the Nationals.
Yeah.
And I think that Houston only won one home game this postseason. They're really having a hard time winning at home. Just
It's shocking.
It's so ironic.
Completely shocking.
Considering the accusations, but
they need the buzzers back.
They do.
They need the trash cans back.
Trash cans back. Make baseball great.
So that was that. Oh, did we talk about Giannis, Caleb? The Greek Freak?
Okay, maybe not that.
Well, that's his nickname.
Yeah, I you know what? I had it wrote down, then I crossed it out because I was going to mix it with something else and then forgot to write it back down again. Yeah, the Greek Freak inks a 3-year, $186 million. Is that a max deal?
That
discount.
I don't think it's max. It's just a 3-year extension.
I mean, it's $62 million a year. It's crazy. But
$186 million over 3, and he has player options for 27 and 28 seasons.
I knew when they signed Dame that they were gonna.
Yeah, and as they should.
Yeah,
they won. They won the finals. What, 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. Trading for Dame is a finals move.
It is very much a finals move, and honestly, for Dame, I hope he gets it.
So do I, sorta.
And I hope that the Bulls completely blow their franchise up. And
haven't they been blowing up for like 6 years now? 17 years?
Oh no. We've been middle of the road, which is sports hell.
I know that. It's like purgatory for a sports fan.
Yeah. We're not good enough to win anything. We're not bad enough to
I hear that.
That's it for the 6-pack though, man. Unless anybody Hail Marys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Make a comment if you have a comment.
Comment.
Wow. Those are good instructions there, Julie.
Yeah, but if you have one, share it, okay?
I mean,
check the tape, moving on.
Now, then you're just never going to get it. So I get it.
I don't have any follow-up.
All right. Good.
What?
Can you smell? La, 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 la. What you trying is cooking.
She says hello. She's cleaning her own butthole.
What's her?
Yeah, the butthole is. We gotta stop saying butthole.
Yeah.